Okay, once again, I am Steve Beck in Morris, Illinois. It's my pleasure to welcome everybody to our Sunday night team call. And as always, we begin with our signature message, and here to present that to you tonight from the great state of Colorado, although he is currently in Lincoln, Nebraska, Mr. Paul McAllister. Paul, go ahead, please.
All righty, thank you. I had to get unmuted there. Yep, glad to do this. I am part of a growing team of entrepreneurs with a shared mission to protect and empower 2 million families with Legal Shield's network of top-rated law firms and world-class ID services. What we do matters, and we are looking for help. Thanks, sir.
All right, thanks so much, Paul. It's so exciting to have everybody on. We're actually coast to coast tonight and border to border, and we have some brand new associates on with us, and we've got some great celebration stories tonight. We're doing things just a little bit differently. Usually Annette Szobar has our celebrations for us, but tonight Dani is going to pinch hit. Matt had a little family situation come up. So Dani, if you'd like to take it away with our celebration stories tonight.
Might help if I actually unmuted myself. Absolutely. I was so excited. I forgot to unmute. Awesome. I am really happy to be doing your celebrations this evening. Before we jump into a couple of you, I do want to welcome Miss Kim Lodge. She has been part of the business for a couple of days now. She is out of the Loveland, Colorado marketplace, just down the street from us. So welcome, Kim. Thank you so much for being on. We are glad to have you here. All right, so everybody give her big waves, thumbs up. Awesome. All right, with that, I believe Miss Leigh Perry, you have a celebration of your own you would like to share.
Well, I do, and I'm super excited because I have an associate that's a little further down on my line, and she's been around for a couple of years, and the time just wasn't right. And when it was right, she reached out to Mr. Drennan, who said, you know what? You need to get in touch with Leigh Perry. And Tammy Stevers and I have been talking, and y'all, I just have to brag on her because this week she had a fantastic sale. She closed a combo plan and a small business plan. So she leveled up. She made PC for the first time ever. She brought a new associate on, and she closed her first group. So Tammy is on tonight. Tammy, if you'd like to unmute and just say a few words so we can cheer you on.
Hi all, nice to meet you. I am definitely one of the slowest people who are going to be successful in Legal Shield, but I'm getting there. Mostly I'm relying on my upline, my field trainers, just doing as much learning as I can, and any and all advice is definitely appreciated.
Well, I just wanted to brag on her because the other thing that happened is that the woman that she brought on, Wendy, already had someone on the Ladies of Justice call on Saturday, Amanda, and Amanda is considering coming on next week. So we'll be talking with her further. So way to go, Tammy, and welcome to the team Zoom.
Thank you.
All right, back to you, Dani.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Tammy. Congratulations, Leigh. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. All right. The next celebration that we have in the house comes from Brian Deli. Brian, would you like to?
Hey guys, happy Sunday. Thanks for the introduction. Brian Deli, Joliet, Illinois, background general contractor. My celebration is going to go out to 3 different Success Partners associates. Debbie Greif, Prince Johnson, and Stella Rodriguez. Back in 2019, when I was doing the CDLP training pieces on our then calls, they reached out to me and said they were interested in learning more about working in the with drivers and transportation companies. COVID came on, an opportunity came up where I committed to be an exhibitor at a trucking event, which was 3 days long. And those 3 associates committed their time, their finances, and their energy to come and learn how to do an event like that. And in doing so, we got our information out to about 300 to 500 people. We learned to talk with some ministries. We learned to talk with some companies and some individual drivers and also just attendees at the event, which is rare. A rarity is we actually closed a small group at that event. So those 3 associates gained their first group employee membership PC points. So kudos to them. Blessed to be able to work with them and keep up the great efforts. Back to you, Dani.
That's awesome. I love hearing that, especially when everybody is working together, because we are one band, one sound. That is just amazing to hear. Such a great story. All right. Well, with that, does anybody else have any quick celebrations that they want to pop in before we go to the next segment? Just type it in the chat if you have something you would like to celebrate real quick. Going once, going twice. We are done. All right, guys. Well, with that, I do get to host your next segment as well. We call this the What's My Line? Getting to know our fellow associates. And I have the privilege of interviewing the one, the only, the great Annette Szobar. How are you, Annette?
I'm doing great, Dani.
Aw, look, she's smiling. I love it. Pardon my dogs in the background. All right, Annette, how was the move? Let's start there.
Well, there's a virtual background, which actually is a beach, which is about 20 minutes from my house. And I have the virtual background because I am surrounded by boxes. So I am here. It is awesome. But it is definitely a process.
I totally can understand. I can imagine. All right. Well, let's back up even a little bit further than the move. Let's talk about how your past jobs have helped you have success in Legal Shield currently.
Well, most of my life I've been self-employed. So I think I knew I came into Legal Shield not with an employee mindset, but with, I got to do something mindset. So I think that really helped me transfer into Legal Shield as a business, not just as, a W-2 type job, but as a business and taking charge of it.
So tell us about the first time that you saw Legal Shield. How were you introduced and who introduced you?
The first time I saw it was about 13 years ago. My husband and I were kind of in some financial changes in our lives. We were literally living off of our savings account, and he walked in the door and said, "Hey, honey, I did the most wonderful thing today. I signed up for this plan and we're going to get legal services. We can call an attorney whenever we want." And we hadn't been married very long. And I came from a working class family. And I remember looking at him thinking, okay, the only people that need attorneys all the time are either rich, which we obviously are not. And oh my God, did I marry a slime ball? So, but for once I kept my mouth shut. I decided to be a good wife and let him do his thing and realized he was really smart. And so started watching him use it. And it actually took me about 3 years before I ever called the law firm.
That's entertaining. I like that. I could see where that's coming from. I could see that. So I know one of the things that speaks to you is small business. Why does small business speak to you so much?
Well, I've been a small business owner, and I still am with my QuickBooks, but I work with a lot of small businesses. And small businesses have the same problems that big businesses do, but they don't have the resources. And for years, as a QuickBooks person, I was kind of the go-to person. People would call me up and ask me the most bizarre questions. And I'd say, well, I think, well, let's Google it. And so when I started using Legal Shield myself for my business, it made sense because there's so many things that come up that a business can utilize.
So give me an example that's something that the law firm would be way better at than Google.
Oh, like reviewing a contract. I
There you
have
go. I love it.
your contract, definitely.
Right? You don't want Google to review your contract, right? Google Translate, maybe. All
And
right.
explaining it, yes.
Absolutely. I love it. What are some tips that you would give anybody else working with small business owners?
Get to understand what the business's challenges are. Don't just go in and try to sell them something, because the businesses have different pain points. Different types of businesses have different pain points. So understanding the industry a little bit better and just trying to get to know the person and what they're going through. New businesses sometimes have different challenges than existing businesses. So that in and of itself too, but really trying to understand what's going on with the business.
Awesome. All right. Well, with our last 30 seconds, what last minute tips, advice do you have for everybody on this call?
My biggest tip is do something every day. Even if you're really super part-time, do something, even if it's 5 minutes, because that builds a habit and it's easier to expand a habit rather than start a new habit. So do something every day and show up, get plugged in and show up.
Awesome. I love it. Thank you so much. And real quick, John wants to know where you moved from and where you moved to.
I moved from Plainfield, Illinois, which was a suburb of Chicago, far southwest suburb, to Gulfport, Mississippi, which is along the Gulf Coast.
Awesome. Thanks, Annette. We appreciate your time. Have a wonderful evening. And now I get to go to, let me pull up my little thing here. I get to go to Leigh Schuster-Williams for personal development. Is that what this says, Leigh? Okay.
Yep, it's the first week of the month.
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. Is it really? Yep. I'm losing it. All right. Miss Leigh Schuster-Williams, I am super excited to have you come and do some personal development because I think I need some at this very moment.
Well, I'm glad to be here, Dani. And Annette and I did not talk, but she teed me up just perfectly for tonight's personal development topic, which is no surprise because she's a queen of personal development. But I want to talk to you guys about a topic that some of you have heard me talk about before, Leigh Perry. So you're going to have to listen with different ears. We talk about that on Fridays mornings, right? Listen to the signature message with different ears. Well, so tonight I want you to hear this as if you've never heard this before. We're going to talk about the power of decision. So Annette said her one tip for us was to do one thing every day. And she said it's easier to expand a habit than it is to start a new one. And what does it take to expand a habit or to start a new one? It takes a decision to start. It takes a firm, committed, dedicated decision. Not oh, well, I'm going to decide this and then I'm going to get distracted and do something else. It's a firm thing, right? One of my favorite mentors, Bob Proctor, said, decision is the magical mental activity that can literally propel you down the road to success. Think about that. If you have the mental capacity for this magical mental activity that can literally propel you down the road to success, why would you not embrace it? Why would you not take hold of it? And so many of you know my book, The 9 Little Words to Change Your Success. Well, it's 3 phrases, right? Up until now, I am willing no matter what. Well, decision is part of I am willing, right? Up until now is about awareness. Personal development always starts, a transformation always starts with awareness. But then we have to do something with it, right? We can't just be aware. We have to do something about the awareness. And that's where I am willing comes in. So what are you willing to decide for, right? When we decide for one thing, we are cutting away the other options because it is firm, it is committed, it is a dedicated decision. And so when we do that, when we say, I am deciding to do what Annette Szobar said tonight on the team Zoom, I am deciding to do one thing every day, we are cutting away the possibility of days where we do nothing, right? Because a decision like that has the ability to literally propel you down the road to success. Now, I want you to think about the light switch in the room you're in. Every room you're in probably has a light switch to an overhead light. And that light switch, it's either the kind that toggles up and down or back and forth, or it's a dimmer switch and you push it on and off. But the whole time, when that light switch is on the off position, the electricity is still there, right? It's there waiting for you to flip the switch. It's right there available to you all the time. And so is the power of decision. It's about flipping your decision switch to make success. The power within you is greater than any circumstance around you, and it's sitting there waiting for you to tap into it. So I wear two charms on whatever necklace I wear. And sometimes people notice them and ask me about them because they're on, you know, no matter what else is on around my neck. And one of them says, decisions determine destiny. And the other one says, I can do this. And what we have to remember is sometimes the chatter in our head that says, oh, I could never do that. I'm not good enough. I'm too this, I'm too that. I'll never be as good as that person. The comparison, you know, gremlins are talking in our heads. Sometimes they get louder than the voice that says, I am willing, right? And there's no mystery here to what we need to be willing to do to be a success in this business. We get that all the time. We get it on our stretch calls. We get it on this call, right? We have the information. This business is simple, not easy, right? But what can make it easier is a decision to act, a decision to be consistent, a decision to plug in, to do the personal development and to do the activity, the three-legged stool. And that decision can literally propel us down the road to success. So I encourage all of you to flip on your I am willing switch, make a decision for your business, and let's go get it. Thanks for having me tonight, Dani.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And I believe we head back out to Miss Leigh Perry.
Again, you must unmute so people can hear you. Thanks so much, Lynn. I love that we've reordered this and made it so that the first week of the month, you help us get our heads set correctly. And I wrote down decide for. So I did hear it a little bit differently this time. And decide for ED, decide for my business, not what I don't want, what I do want. Well, let's talk about what Ron Chambers wants. Y'all, I had the immense pleasure to meet Mr. Chambers at Summer Blast. Up until that point, he had only been a voice on a call. And we got to meet in person and had so much fun at Summer Blast, especially when he and Matt did the live music and we had sing-alongs, and they never criticized anybody, no matter how badly any of us sang. It was great fun. And Ron, I am so excited that you're going to be our behind-the-scenes Millionaire Club member tonight. Let's talk a little bit about how you first found Legal Shield and why you decided to make it part of your business.
All right. Well, thank you for inviting me to be on this call. What a great call so far. Oh my gosh. Everything's awesome. I've been on a little hiatus, you guys. I miss you. I love you. And I'm glad to see you all tonight. But how I got onto Legal Shield was I recruited a guy named Tony Petrill to sing in the band with me at church. You guys might have heard of a guy named Tony Petrill. So I recruited him. Then he recruited me. But actually, I bought the membership first. I used it right away. I had a great result. I started telling people about it. some of those people wanted it, and they said, how do you get it? I said, well, call Tony, you know. And after I sent him about a half a dozen referrals, he called me up one day to ask me if I'd be interested in getting paid for doing that. So I said, I'm listening. And I went to a presentation out in a little place called Ann Arbor, Michigan. There was a guy there named John Drennan, a guy named Jim Harkema, a guy named John Hoffman. And I saw this presentation and I said, well, I absolutely want to do the business. So that's how I got here.
And what were you doing up until that point, Ron? What was your business up until that point?
Yeah, well, my whole life I've been a musician. I actually was just in Detroit over the weekend. I had 2 shows in Detroit with my band, so that was an incredible time. But I was a contractor, like basically a remodeling contractor. I finished kitchens, bathrooms, or remodeled them rather, finished basements, that kind of thing.
So have you used the business for the band and for other things as well?
Oh yeah, definitely. I
That
used it for my business immediately. That's the first thing I used. The first day I owned my membership, I called in and used it for my business. And that's, you know, I got a call back in 20 minutes, which blew my mind, right? Because I had one of my clients was an attorney, and I'd call him 3 or 4 times just to get a question answered before he finally returned my phone call. He was a friend of mine. So I got a call back in 20 minutes. I thought, I like this better.
So what was, when you made that decision, since we're talking about decisions tonight, what was that decision, to go full-time with Legal Shield or to continue to build it, or what was your decision?
Yeah, it really was just, you know, I really wasn't sure if it was going to work out. You know, I thought, okay, sounds good. The money looks all right. I'll give it a shot. You know, I'll be a sideline. And, you know, I just had success by simply sharing the information with people. Back then, you know, it just sounds like ancient history here, but we had cassette tapes and VHS tapes, right? And pamphlets and things like that. And so I just made a commitment to share the news with everybody. I would share it with my customers in my business. I would share it with people that I knew. I'd share it with the suppliers when I went in to buy materials for my jobs, you know, and a lot of people just wanted it. And I made about $800 my first month. And I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. Let's see how it goes from here. And after about 3 months of doing that, I decided to go buy a new car because I had extra money. And I'd been driving around vans, and, you know, my van was, every door handle had paint around it, you know, one of those kind of vans. And so I was able to buy a new car, and I just kept rolling. And about a year later, I went full time and got out of the construction business.
And haven't looked back, I would imagine.
Never.
So talk a little bit about how you built your business. I know that groups have been a big part of the business, employee benefits for you. And then you've also built a team as well. So talk a little bit about how you built your business.
Well, initially, I got into Legal Shield to build a team. That was my focus. I understood that because as a company owner, I had employees or 1099 contractors who worked for me, and I understood the value of that, having, you know, other people doing the work that I was also doing. So I got in to build a team, and I started off team building right from the very first day. It was not until maybe 2 years in where I really had some things happen with my team that, you know, I was a director and not getting ED overrides all of a sudden, and I had to do something different. So I called my sponsor, and he said, well, if you need to make money, I think you should do some group. So I said, okay. And, you know, he had an insurance background. He was familiar with that. And I just went to work on that side of the fence and had success because I had a good field trainer and a good mentor who had, you know, been successful at it. And I kind of, honestly, guys, I kind of got stuck there. I didn't really intend to stay there at all, but I kind of got stuck there. And I made a mistake, I believe, which was I kind of stopped recruiting because I was making money. And that was a critical error in judgment, which I would tell everybody, never stop recruiting. So anyway, somewhere along the line, I went back to recruiting, and, you know, I've got some wonderful people on my team that some of you all know who are very successful in Legal Shield in the group employee benefits division.
Yeah, we've met some of those folks at Summer Blast as well. The Schillers and a couple of others that are on your team doing very, very well. And I think Matt Miller's on your team as well, isn't he?
Yes.
part of your team. So, so Ron, I didn't really, everybody knows you're a Millionaire Club member, but talk a little bit about achievement.
Oh,
Yeah, we got to brag on you a little bit.
I'm kicking gravel right now. Well, I don't know what, I earned six figures for, I don't know, 6 or 7 years now. And I mean, I earned $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 for a lot of years, and, cracked the 6-figure income. I think it was 6 years ago. I think I'm approaching 6,000 personal membership sales, just under 6,000. I don't know if I'll make that by Phoenix or not, but I might. And let's see what else. I'll normally ED and bronze ED, silver ED, been platinum before. Then that's all but because of my team, not because of me. But when you have ED lines, it helps elevate you in the bonus structure on above ED, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, etc. So I'm really thankful for my team. A lot of my success is because of them.
That's fantastic. And it allows you to go play music when you want to.
Yes.
That's a really good thing, because you're an awesome musician as well. He's a Renaissance man, folks. So Ron, I know you and I could just keep going with this back and forth and telling stories, but why don't you do the parting shot? What is your, we know you said don't ever stop recruiting. Is there another tip you might have?
Yeah, I think that, Annette's tip was really awesome. Do something every day. I'm going to give you a quote. I learned the quote. It came from Bob Hope, but I learned it from Grant Cardone. Bob Hope says every day, or he did, he's no longer here, but he would say every day when he woke up, what can I do to promote Bob Hope? So what we have to do as Legal Shield business owners is do something to promote our business every single day, which is right in line with what Annette said. Don't let a day go by without doing something for your business. Even if you're part-time, do something. And it's like building a house brick by brick by brick. That's how it goes. And if you build on a firm foundation, it'll stand.
Fantastic. Well, Ron Chambers, thank you so much for being with us tonight and sharing your story, and keep playing those tunes, man. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you out to John Drennan, one of my greatest mentors in life. I love you, man, and I'm very thankful for all that you've done to help me through all these years. Have a great night.
Thanks, Ron. And since we've been talking about Summer Blast, before we go to the motivational moment, I want to ask Susan Comer to share, because I know Summer Blast has been a big part of her success, and she wanted to share a story this evening. Susan?
Well, thank you, Leigh, and hello, everybody. And I am Susan Comer in Louisville, Kentucky. More of a testimony of Summer Blast, because I've been to all of them since I've been in this great company. And a little bit of what I want to say is you have personal goals and you have a personal why. And then when you attend Summer Blast, what happens is you get immersed in our culture, in our team, and you begin to realize that you're part of something so much bigger than yourself. And that's when all the magic happens. I especially like, we have aha moments that we share. And sometimes you don't have one, but someone else's moment will become yours. And you get this different perspective, and you find this deeper understanding of who we are and how we're making such a big impact on the world, on everybody. We really make a difference. And just as Lynn taught us about making a decision, I really encourage everybody, make a decision to register and enroll, attend, and intend to be fully present and immerse yourself in the day, and you will come out a different person. And I hope to see all of you there. Back to you, Lynn.
Thanks so much, Susan. Appreciate that. And folks, I put the registration link. It's successpartnersevents.com. And you just click on that. It's actually in the chat, so that if you click on it now, you can come back to the Zoom for our motivational moment, that you can register as soon as we get done if you haven't already, or forward it to your teammates. Thanks so much, Susan. I know that's where you and I first met. So good to see you. All right, folks, and we have a fantastic motivation moment from none other than the amazing Jane Lehman.
Good evening. Before I start this motivation moment, I have to go out to Lynn Schuster-Williams really quickly. Lynn, verify with me that with everyone, we have not spoken.
We have not.
We have not spoken.
We have
at
not
all.
texted. We have not spoken. And I don't
No.
know why you asked that.
You'll find out. And that's because, yeah, my motivation moment is that as a child, I loved helping people. Little Janie at the age of 4, I just wanted to help everybody. And it was a hard lesson to learn that, first of all, not everybody wants help, but a lot of people who need help don't want help. And that was a hard one for me to learn, but through the years, of course, I got over that. But when I saw Legal Shield, I saw just such a bigger way of being able to help people, and it motivated me. I made the decision, here we go, Lynn, I made the decision, and these are things I have written down before. I made it a habit that I will make myself better in order to be a better person, in order to do this. This is all the personal development that comes from this team that I have plugged into over the years. I made that decision to daily make it a part of my daily routine. I get up early so that I can read, I can do devotions, I do affirmations. That's why I started the affirmation call over a year ago. Daily, these affirmations, if you're saying affirmations, this is what really motivates me. These things you should feel them. You're not doing motivations from your head. You're doing motivations from your heart, your affirmations from your heart. And they can start off simple with things like, I am excited, fill in the blank. I am Legal Shield. I have, I attract, I choose, I give, I learn, I achieve. And from there, you build your affirmations out to anything you want them to be. A couple of my really favorite affirmations are, I am wonderfully made. I am healthy, strong, and vibrant. I'm beautiful. I give the very best of myself to others. I feel successful while helping others. I effortlessly manifest wealth, and I welcome prosperity in all areas of my life. And if it wasn't for Legal Shield, I don't know where I would be today, but all of these habits, forming these habits and keeping them going, they are what truly keeps me motivated. And what we have here in Legal Shield is such a gift. We are truly blessing people every day, and that motivates me every time I get out of bed. Back to you, Leigh.
Thanks so much, Jane. Appreciate your motivation moment. Thank you for sharing and great suggestions on the affirmations and starting your day right. Well, folks, we've come to the end of our call, but it's not over yet because we have a video.
Go out to Mr. John Drennan for a few comments.
Oh, okay. Mr. John Drennan, would you like to make a few comments?
Well, I absolutely would. Good evening. I would, because, our next summer blast, which will be the 12th year in a row, will be over 1 week from tonight. Susan did a great job talking about it, and thank you, Susan. As I look at my screen, I see so many people who've been part of the summer blast, Ted Wilson, Linda Beck, Jane Lehman. I'm just looking at different, Lynn Schuster-Williams, so many people, you've been part of it, you've attended it, and it's such a big deal. And if you've attended, coming away from it, how it stays with you and how valuable it is. So I wanted to take an extra couple minutes tonight, because this is Summer Blast Week. And as Ron Chambers was talking, and what a great interview that was, but I think back to Ron missed the first few summer blasts when we did them in Louisville, but then he came to one a few years ago and hasn't missed since. And Ron, again, is a Millionaire Club member who's been to countless events, and you've done the deal. Everyone knows who you are in Legal Shield. Would you please unmute and just take a moment and do your own plug for Summer Blast for those maybe who are new?
Sure. Thanks, John, for going out to me about this. I really, it's hard to put into words sometimes the things that you experience at these events. the camaraderie, you know, it's really kind of like a family reunion, you know, like John and I are from Michigan originally. Neither one of us live there anymore. But you get to see people that we see on the Zoom calls all the time and really kind of just hang out. But that's part of it, the personal interaction and the things that you can pick up from just sitting down and having a conversation with someone else. But one of my mentors always said the best investment you can ever make is investing in yourself. You can never go wrong with investing in yourself. And look, it's not a big financial investment to go to Summer Blast. It's if I don't mean any disrespect, it's stupid cheap. It's just ridiculous to pay $20 to go to something like this. And what you will get out of that for spending that time with all the different folks that are involved in this is just, you know, it's hard to put a value on that, but I can tell you this, it will be something you never regret of spending your time there.
Thanks so much, Ron. And, you know, it will be a virtual event, yet Ron used the language go to. You think, well, you go to a virtual event. No, you plug into, but no, with the Summer Blast, you're going there because we're there in rooms. And, you know, he talked about like a family reunion, and you might think, how's that possible with Zoom? Well, that means you weren't on last year, you know, so because we did it. And in so many ways, it's better because you're at home where maybe you can easily get water or food or just say hi to your family and take the breaks. So I wanted to take these extra minutes because this is the week, and a week from tonight, it's another year, give or take a few weeks for the next one. So I know I'm preaching to the choir. Most of you are registered, but here's the question. Do all of your associates know about it? I'm not saying some of them, all of them, because if they're not on our Zooms or they're not on our calls and they don't read Ellis Engage, they have no clue. How could they? We have to get to them through phone calls, through texts, through emails, and Jane Lehman has put the link in the chat. So you got a time to write that down, take a picture of it, get it to your team. Team builders know how to promote. And, you know, that's the most valuable thing in this business is the art of promotion. You got something big here to promote. So with that, Dani and Leigh, thanks for giving me a couple minutes, and I'll go back to whoever's up next. Thank you.
Well, you always do such a great job wrapping us up, Mr. Drennan. So folks, the other thing to remember about as you share this with your teammates is that even if they can't be on the entire thing, they will have access to the recording so they can go back and hear it. And the focus on it is getting to ED, so to executive director. So it'll be about growth and growing your business. And Ron said, never stop recruiting. And Lynn said, make a decision. So make a decision to be there, make a decision to reach out, be on yourself, and let's make it an awesome week. Steve Beck is going to send us off with a video.
I'm going to start with a real fast comment. One of the ways you can promote this to people is have them watch the recording of this call. They'll hear all of the comments that were just made, and they'll get all the great training that preceded that. So I'm pleased that I was about to stop the recording when Dani said, let's get some comments from John. So luckily I was slow on the trigger and it's all been recorded. With that, I'm going to stop the recording now.